Now I have a good amount of leads, and before I upload them to my outreach campaign or set them up for LinkedIn connections, I'm gonna make sure that the list is clean, that I only target those people that I intended to, and also all the minor things that make a huge difference when you do outreach and pretend as if you're doing it manually. Since I don't have any lead researcher or any virtual assistant who does it for me, I have created a few formulas and streamlined the whole process, and I'm going to share all the tips and tricks with you, so keep on watching. First of all, I want to get rid of all the people that are not really relevant for my research, and I'm going to do it by reviewing the titles. And I don't want to do it manually. This is why I'm going to use a formula for this. I'm creating a separate column where I will see the results, and I'm pasting my formula. I will share it in the comments so that you can use the formula as well and adjust it for yourself. So what it does is it takes the title in column E, and then it searches for the keywords that you specify and says if the title includes these keywords or if it doesn't. So if you remember, I was searching for CEOs and COOs, and I'm going to pick the keywords with the abbreviations, as well as I'm going to look for executive and operating, and I think also operations. So let me see why it doesn't work. All right, I have to change the cell, so it says F2. I need to change it to E2. No, it's selected, and it says true because we have executive in here. What I do now is I copy the cell, go to the bottom and insert. Now you can see, for example, we have Chief Financial Officer. It says false because it doesn't have any of the keywords that I specified. Same for volunteer. And this makes it very easy to just filter out all the people that we do not need. And for this, I'm selecting the whole first row and select the filter. And now I can unselect true, because theoretically true is everyone who has executive, operations, CEO, COO in their title. So we're not focusing right now on them. We're focusing on the ones that don't include these keywords, and we have to decide if we want to keep them or if we want to remove them. So first I scroll through the titles. Maybe I should include another keyword before I delete all of them. And as you can see, I don't really see that there is someone who would be interesting for me. I think all of them can be deleted. Yeah, so we have a lot of members, and maybe Sales Navigator included them because they have some keywords on their page, or they have been at this position at the same company previously. There might be several cases why it does it. Since it's not a human who's curating the whole list, we just have to deal with this. So this is why we're doing the list cleaning. So I'm through with the whole list. I don't see anything that I would want to keep. And this is why I'm just selecting the first row, scrolling to the end, holding shift that allows me to select all these rows, and I just delete them. And now see how easy it was. Instead of going through each row one by one and double checking and verifying with this one formula, it made it so much easier and saved me a lot of time. I think if I had a VA going through the titles, they would spend hours on this, because we had more than 500 titles. And now I'm going to, scroll through everything again and just see if there's something that I don't like, and maybe I should pick another keyword that I should filter out. And it looks pretty good to me. You can also use the formula the other way around. Let's say I don't want chairmans, and instead of filtering out everything that I need, I'm just going to add chairman, and I want to see all the cells that include this word. And now I'm filtering it by true. And now I can just easily remove everyone who has the word chairman in their titles. This one, I might actually keep this one, and the rest I'll just remove it. This is how easy it is. Then if you want to turn off the filter, just select all and click OK, and you'll back to the default view. The next step is to clean the names so that if you are sending a message saying, hey John, then you will have John, not, John and then some additional symbols that you don't like, or John Jr. or something like this. To avoid that, we're going to work with the first name column. Let's remove this one. We don't need it anymore. And first of all, I'm going to use the filter function again and filter out everything that has some punctuation marks. So I'm going to start with a dot. And as you can see, this is not the first name, and it would be ridiculous if I would say, hey doctor. And from here I can see that the first name is Tiffany, so I just changed that. The same applies to the other instances. You could also automate this with a formula, but I have only like 5 or 6 instances. It's faster to just do it manually. I don't really care about the last name because I don't include it to my outreach campaigns, but if you do, you should clean this one as well. Okay, so we're done with the dots, and now I'm going for the comma. There aren't anything like this. Then let's search for brackets. Everything's clean. Let's look for a slash. Okay, that looks good. Now let's see if there is a junior or something like this that we can remove it. Okay, this looks good. And now let's just scroll through the column and see if we can spot something that is. I'm just doing it really quick because if something is off, you can identify it pretty quickly. Okay, this one looks like it's a doctor. Let's search for the same again so that we don't miss any cases like these. I'm doing the same. I'm filtering by condition and picking text contains. This is the only one, so let's just replace it and remove the filter again and scroll down and see if there's anything else. Okay, this looks good to me. I'm not sure about this one. Maybe I'll just remove it. Okay, and now we have to make sure that upper and lower cases properly, because sometimes they're written in caps and you don't want to send emails with the name in caps. So we're going to use a formula for this one as well. I create a separate column again to work with column C, and now I just write proper and select C2 and copy the formula and scroll down till the end, holding shift and insert the formula. Let's pick a Here you can see that Michael turned into Michael with an uppercase letter. What I do now is I just select the column, because this is the formula, and again, formulas, you can't edit them, and we want to keep the value. This is why I select the column, do copy, and then go into column C and do Ctrl-Shift-V. You can remove this one and call it first name. We're done with the names, and now let's move on to the company name. If you're writing an email and saying, hi Tiffany, or hi Vikash, I see you're working at Vestec Inc., you usually don't say that. You usually exclude the Inc. at the end, or the LLC, or the group. And to make it more natural, I clean the company's column as well. And I actually apply a similar formula. For this, I use the replace function, and I just select column F, and then I pick Ctrl H, and I insert inc dot, and I keep the replace field empty and click on replace all. Now you can see that it has replaced 5 instances. That means that it has replaced all inks in this column. And now I repeat the same with, let's do the same without the dot. Sometimes they don't include it. You can see that there are 11 instances. Now I do the same with LLC, or probably the best way to do it is go back. Let me just return it. First of all, I want to replace the LLC with the dot. There are no like these. I replace. Then I can see that there's group. I usually exclude it as well. So I replace all. And let's just scroll through and see what else we can do. Let's remove the commas. And I think I can remove this one. Now I also see LTD. I forgot about this one. Let's remove this as well. 7 instances. And what else do we have? I think it looks pretty decent. Okay, I think we're good. We've removed everything that shouldn't be there. And now you can see that there is oftentimes a lot of abbreviations or some additional stuff in brackets. And if you include this into your outreach, that doesn't look natural as well. So I want to remove it. And I'm going to use the filter. Text contains, and then just add the first bracket. And now let's just, go through and remove what you think isn't necessary. Like these things, you don't want to include them. Okay, that looks good. So we're done with this part. And now, same as with the name, you might want to check the upper and lowercase writing, and you do the same with the proper formula. You can correct it with the same formula. And the last part is titles, because oftentimes you include titles to your email or to your message as well, and this is why you will want to review it. Same approach, just pick the filter, text contains, and then I go for the brackets, because if you have this long title, you probably don't want it. I just keep it like this. And like this. So I just remove everything that I don't think is relevant to make it as short as possible. So now I'm going to search for the comma and remove everything. If you have two titles, I would recommend to go for one. And I usually recommend to go for the higher title. There is no, there are no rules, because founder or chief executive officer, I'd rather go for chief executive officer, because the messages are going to be targeted on these people. And here I'm going for leadership coach. And you just do the same with the remaining titles. Here you can see that everything is in caps, so do the same proper formula that we did with first name and company name. And this will help you. Another trick to speed it up is, instead of removing all the additional wording, you can just copy Chief Executive Officer, and you see like this one, instead of removing it, just paste it in there and you're done. Like here, paste it, and here as well. That's a bit faster than removing the additional wording. So now you get it. I'm going to send a checklist with all the needed things to double check. If you want, just leave me a comment and I'll send it to you. This is how you just do it in bulk. The cleaning takes up to 30 minutes depending on the amount of data you have, and it's in any way faster than doing it manually or paying someone to do it for several hours. Let me know if this was useful and if you struggle with anything else and if you need help to automate something. Thank you and good luck.